Okay, good morning, everyone. So today is Monday. It is July 20th, and just a few updates for this week. This week, we do have our new member training on Wednesday night, so be sure that you're getting your new members on that. Today, obviously, is Monday morning training. Tomorrow morning, we have Rise with Intention at 9 a.m. Eastern. Again, Wednesday is new member training. Thursday is Trade Talks, which I absolutely love. I think a lot of us have grown to love that. I feel like it's a family meeting. How many of you guys have family meetings? If you, I don't know, we do in my house. I'm like, family meeting time, usually it's a bad thing, but Trade Talks has been amazing. Not only do we hear a lot of updates on, where the previous week was and what we can look forward to moving forward to the next week. I think that the trainings have been phenomenal as well. And those are recorded. So if you need those, they're in your back office under resources. And then on Friday, obviously, we have our rewards plan training with Kyle. And then right after that is Rise with Intention with the Norries again. So with that being said, I'm going to dive right in. I hope everyone's having a great July thus far. I know that we're moving now towards, we're kind of like over the hump or the halfway point. And I don't know if any of you are like me. I know, what was it, 2 weeks ago, we kind of did a training on evaluating where your business is, so to speak, this far through the year. I also do that personally in my months, and I don't know, maybe other people do this too, but like halfway through the month, I personally want to see a certain amount of volume. I want to have enrolled, hold on. I want to be sure that I've enrolled a certain number of people. I don't know, it's kind of like a halfway checkpoint for me. All right, so today we're going to talk about social media. And I know not everyone grows their business on social media, so this may be a topic that some people feel like they don't need, but, and I talked to Kyle about this yesterday. Normally, we don't do a whole lot of social media trainings or things like that because not everyone uses this as a tool, right? But what I've found is, especially in the last, let's say 4 months with our world right now, most people are using some form of social media for something, right? Whether you're using it as a connection tool to grow your contact list, whether you're using it for attraction marketing, I mean, like whatever it is, right? Facebook and Instagram, and I mean, even if you have like a Twitter account and you're using that, it's a place where we can grow our social circle. It's a great tool, right? It's not the only way, but it's one of the ways that we can grow our business. And with everyone being stuck at home, I'm not seeing a lot of in-home parties. I'm not seeing a lot of coffee shop dates. I know some places are opening back up. Here in Florida, we are closing back down. So it is the opposite here. But in the last 4 months or whatever, a lot of people have needed this to grow their business. So with that being said, I think that even if you don't feel like maybe this necessarily pertains to you right now, it's good to have in your back pocket. It's good to have this knowledge moving forward because, again, it is a tool. It's one of the ways that you can grow your business. It's one of the ways that you can find new people. It's one of the ways you can grow your social circle. So I have some notes and I'll probably not read any of them like I always do, but I'm going to dive in and kind of just go through the basics of Facebook specifically. And the reason I'm choosing Facebook is because it's, I'm more familiar with it. We'll just say that. Instagram is something I also use, but my conversion rate, we'll say that, to growing, it's just a whole different thing. So I'm going to focus primarily on Facebook today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the comments. Again, I'm going to go through the whole training, so to speak. And then if there's any questions at the end, I'll be able to answer those as well. All right. So I'm also recording this on video. Not that we will need it, any of it, but if you guys need that later. And then Kyle obviously uploads everything to the SoundCloud. All right. Enough prefacing. I'm going to dive right in. First, there are a few ways that you can use Facebook primarily to grow your business. There is your own personal page, right? Which we'll talk to, I'll talk to you mostly about that, your own personal page. But there's also things like a business page. And I asked some of my team members in our Facebook group, what are some things that they needed help with to kind of get ready for this training. I wanted to see what people felt like they were running into problems with. And the way that I think Kyle and I both coach is what we're getting asked often is usually what we talk about, right? So if I'm getting asked a redundant question, I mean, that tells me that I need to do a little training in this area. So where I'm going with this is there's a few ways on social media you can grow your business. There's your own personal page, right? Your own personal John Smith, like your personal page. There's Facebook groups that you're members of, and you guys have heard me talk about that before, and I will touch very briefly on that again here in this training. There are your own Facebook groups. Now, these are groups that you've personally started, like common interest groups, things like that. There are business pages. And this is the reason I'm getting into this, is because this is one of the questions I got asked actually from more than one person. So the difference between your personal page and a Facebook business page is a few things. First and foremost, nothing that you ever post on social media is yours. And that I do want to stress. This is not, I know a lot of us share great stories and pictures of our families. It's actually not your content. Facebook owns all of that. So if it is not going, and I'm not saying anything negative about Facebook, believe me, if it ever went away, I don't know what I would do, but they have the ability to decide what gets posted or taken down, who sees it, whose timeline ends up on, and so on and so forth. So if you're using your Facebook page primarily for business, Facebook itself is going to suggest that you use a business page. I am not an advocate for this. Me personally, I've never used a business page. And what I mean by business page is this is like the NAVAN Life page. So if you go to NAVAN Life, that page that has like a thumbs up where it's not a group, it's not a person, it's like a business-like page. So some people have these for their businesses as well. The issue with that for me is you're starting from scratch. Most of the people that I partner with are people that already know, like, and trust me. They're already my friends and my family. Whether they're an old high school friend or a friend that I've met on social media, they're following. They didn't initially follow me because I sell CBD, right? They're following me, and I say following, like we're friends on Facebook because we have common interests. Maybe they're, you know, moms at the school my kids go to. Maybe our kids play baseball together. Maybe they were in my previous company. You know, who knows, right? But my following on Facebook is thousands of people that have a connection with me in one way or another in the last, however, I don't think like 2009 or something like that, Facebook started. So if you're starting a business-like page, this is a great tool. It's a great way for you to get content out and post things primarily about business, obviously. But it also, you have to keep in mind that you are starting from scratch. So you will need to grow your following. So if, real briefly, because again, it's not something that I personally do, but if you're wanting to have a business page, some of the benefits. One, you can keep your personal page personal. And I know for a lot of us who have kids or our own personal lives who we want to, you know, share on social media and just kind of keep that our personal wall, this gives you the ability to still use social media as a tool to grow your business, but you don't, obviously you wouldn't post pictures of your children on your business page, right? So you can keep the two separate. You can keep your business in your business page and your personal life in your personal page. What I would suggest doing though, is if you make a post or something that is about NAVAN on your personal page, right? Because we're not just posting about NAVAN, we're posting about our life, and NAVAN is a part of our life. So if you make a post on your personal wall about NAVAN or about a product that you're using or something like that, and people are commenting and liking, I would then send them an invite to your business page. That is really all I'm going to touch on about that, because they're very different things. One of the other benefits I will mention is when you have a Facebook business page, you can look at analytics and track things. What I mean by that is it's very business. Like there are tools where Facebook allows you to see when your following is online. So it tells you, you know, when a great time is to post. It tells you your engagement rate. It'll tell you all different sorts of things. And I know this because I'm a consultant with the social media team for NAVAN, and on their page, you can see posts that got great interest, right? Like meaning posts that were made on the NAVAN Life page that got more engagement than others. So it helps you kind of see trends and track ways that you need to be posting to grow your business. So again, that's very business-like. If you are on this, you know, if you're getting value from this training, and most likely you are not having a business page, because this is really kind of the basics. So what I mean by that is if you have been using Facebook for some time, you are very familiar with it, you know how to do all that, you know what to look for as far as numbers and analytics, whatever else, by all means, start a business page if you would like. I personally don't even have one. I just feel like it's a whole nother thing that I don't even want to focus on. So the way that I personally post is about my life, right? And NAVAN is part of my life. So on your personal page, again, you already have a following. The following that is on your personal page most likely did not follow you because you sell CBD or detox or you have a home-based business, right? These are already friends and family, which obviously converts into the people that we partner with. It's one of the joys, and sometimes not so great things of working for yourself, right? You get to pick and choose the people that you want to work with. So that following is already following you. And I keep saying the word following. They're already your friends on Facebook. So this, again, these are going to convert into business partners and customers and so on and so forth. For me, it's a way to connect with people. It's my personal page is my personal life. It also is a way for me to share who I am, right? And we all know that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. It's just what it is. So this page, your personal page, is going to be pieces of you. It's going to be your family. It's going to be all of the things. So if you don't want to share pictures of your family with everyone, there's a way that you can, and get with me after, we'll talk more about that, but there's a way that you can publicly share business posts and NAVAN things, but still keep pictures of your family and things that you'd rather have private only to a certain people that follow you and things like that. So if you're not familiar with how to do that and how to make a post either public or private or whatnot, by all means, get with me after this. I'm not going to go into that a whole lot here because it would involve me kind of showing you on a post, but there's a way that you can do that. And I definitely do that. There are, I have my boys, so I'm a mom of 3 boys, and my boys have gotten a little older, we'll just say that. So I am a very involved mom. I am one that a few years ago would share pictures of my kids sleeping, like, oh, how cute are they? And things like that. Well, my oldest son is 14 now. His friends have social media accounts. He has legitimately asked me, like, Mom, you can't, like, can you not, like, gush over me when I hit a home run? Like, it's embarrassing for him, right? So if you look at my personal wall, it's changed a little bit as my children have gotten older, right? My little guy is 6 now, and, prior to starting school, he was always my sidekick, and you'd see him all over my page. But my personal page has changed a little bit, and that will happen, right? Different seasons of your life is going to be different things, but your following is going to essentially be following you for a reason. So, and that's a whole other topic. We can get into branding and like who you are and all of that, but it's essentially just what it is that you kind of stand for. So for me, if you go to my page, you're going to see a lot of things about health. I have not been, well, I shouldn't say I have not been. I'm still a nurse. I keep my nursing license active, but I have not worked in a hospital in almost 6 years now. I still very much post about nursing things. I still very much, like, if you go to my page, you're going to know I'm a nurse. You're going to know I'm into healthcare. You're going to know I like holistic living, just because it's what I post about a lot. You're probably going to know I'm a mom. I mean, I do post pictures of my boys and things like that, but it's not a whole lot of them as much anymore. And I have had family members who have asked me. I actually had someone that reached out to me and said that she was unfollowing me because my page was no longer about my family and my kids as much. Well, there's a reason for that. My children specifically, I have a 12 and a 14-year-old and a 6-year-old. My older ones have asked me, like, Mom, you can't do this, right? Because their friends have social media accounts, and even though my kids don't, anyway, that's a whole other topic. But my point is that whatever season of life you're in is what you're going to be sharing on your Facebook wall, right? So if you have a personal account and you're sharing things like that, some tips. First, I would have you as your profile picture. And again, these are very basic things, but I would have you as your profile picture. Again, people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust, right? So if you have a picture of your cat or a pretty sunset, by all means, these things are great, right? But if you're using social media to grow your business, which you don't have to by any means, but if you're using social media to grow your business, it should be a remnant of you. It should be your face, or you and your family, or, just something that shows you. The bio, which is the part underneath your picture. You can edit this. Some people don't even have a bio. This is they give you a character limit. I don't know how many it is, but this is a place where you can now tell people very short and sweet who you are, what you're about, and why they should follow you. So if you go to mine on social media, and maybe I should have like screen shared this, but if you go to my page on Facebook, you're going to see Christy Monahan. And then my bio says, educating others to live by design, not by default, prevention, not prescription, and holistic nurse. This is a very short and sweet bio to what it is that I'm about. One suggestion, I would make this very service-based. What I mean is, when someone goes to your page and they look at your picture and your bio, they want to know why they should follow you, right? So if you have something like dog mom, that might resonate to certain people if there's a fellow dog mom, right? If you have something like, I don't know, I can't even think of some of the things I see, but if you have something that is a remnants of travel, let's use that. I see that a lot, travel. Okay, how is that helping someone? You know, like if that's a part of you and you're very passionate about travel, then by all means, you can put that as your bio. But for me, it makes more sense to have the bio part of your Facebook page, something that's going to help other people. And what I mean by that is if I go to someone's page, I'm going to use my friend Gabby because she's not in our business and I can pick on her right now. So my friend Gabby is a yoga instructor. She has been a yoga instructor. She teaches hot yoga since I can remember. If I go to her page and it says teaching women how to do yoga and pockets of time in their life or whatever, I'm going to go, oh my gosh, I need to follow this woman, right? Even though I don't know her yet, because I want to know how to do yoga in the pockets of time in my life. Or if I go to someone's page and they are, I don't know, teach people where all the sweet spots are to find the fish in Florida. Like whatever it is that you're about, it's letting people know a very short and sweet reason as to why they should follow you. So again, I would try to make that service-based, how it is that you're going to help someone else. So for mine, it talks about educating others how to live by design, not default. And if you guys have followed me or you know me at all, that's a big thing for me, is I try to teach other people how to design their own life, how to be able to create the life that they feel like they deserve and want to live, right? So that is in my bio, holistic nurse. That right off the bat, those two words right there tell somebody healthcare, right? And holistic means like prevention, not pills. Like that is who I am. I'm always going to talk about more holistic measures and things like that because it's important to me. So if someone goes to my page and they read my bio, immediately they're going to see, okay, this person is about healthcare. They're about holistic healthcare. If this is something that resonates with me, I'm going to follow this person. Hope that makes sense. All right. Personal accounts, the benefits of personal accounts. One is content. Again, I feel like when you're writing and sharing things that are about you, this helps people know, like, and trust you. It helps build that brand, so to speak. So for me, I am a mom of 3 boys. I will oftentimes post about that. I live in Florida. I'll post about that. Memories, and what I mean by that is if you're on Facebook, your personal page will oftentimes, I think like every day, send you like what you were doing last year at this time, right? What you posted on this date last year and the year before and all of that. So this is a great way for me to repurpose content. Sometimes I'll share that into my stories. Other times, if it's a post that I've made, I can copy and paste, you know, a piece of that story, so to speak. There was actually one that I made yesterday about just empowering women and things of that nature. And I took a piece of it and made it into a quote. And why I'm sharing this is because sometimes it can get overwhelming to have to think that you need to create stories and content and things all of the time. For me, I write it down at the beginning of the month, kind of like ideas for, and sometimes it goes out the window, but you can repurpose a lot of things. So one of the things, and I was actually going to share this, one of the things yesterday I talked about, or I shared in my story, was a post that I made a year ago while on a run. And it talked about, I don't even know the wording, but it was like, be the girl that, you know, people thought was always the underdog, but you overcome, or something like that. Just inspiring words. What I did was I actually shared that post, but I took pieces of that content of the words that I wrote and kept them in my notes section, because what I'm going to do later is make quotes and I'll post that on my wall. Again, that's very much getting into creating content and things that's more advanced than what this training is supposed to be. But you don't have to feel overwhelmed. You don't have to feel like you need to be a writer. You don't feel like please don't feel like you need to write novels or stories every single day, especially lately. And I will say this, I'm very much someone that tracks trends and what is engaging with people and what isn't and things of that nature. And lately people want short and sweet. I am someone who writes novels. And Kyle can tell you this, it just is in my nature to want to over explain things because I have this tendency to feel like nobody understands me, right? So I've gotten away from that, especially lately, because in the world that we're in right now, people just want to laugh. They want to see a funny meme. They want to engage. They want to maybe not have a whole lot of emotion involved in a lot of things. So I'm adhering to that because I feel you, right? Like most people that follow my page, I'm similar to them. And this is another point I will bring up. If you are someone who complains a lot on your page, if you are someone who's very controversial, if you are someone who, and it doesn't even have to be a negative thing, but whatever you put out there is what you're going to attract. And that is tenfold on social media. So if you are someone who's constantly, again, complaining and, you know, I don't know what else. I could go into some other things. I'm not going to use any examples. I'm just going to put that right there. Those are most likely the people that are going to be following your page, unless it's your family, your friends, or whatever. Those are the people that you're going to be attracting. So I want to put that out there because the point in Facebook and social media in general is that we want to attract like-minded people. If you're a complainer and I was going to use a not nice word, you moan and groan, we'll use that word, about traffic every morning and about, I don't know, it raining outside. Those are the people that are going to resonate with you. Misery loves company, right? So if you don't want those type of people in your business, don't share things like that. By all means, like we all get annoyed with traffic, and my day sometimes is ruined when it's raining outside too, but I try to keep my page very positive because I want to attract positive people. I try to keep my page very go-getter, and I don't know how else to explain that, right? Because those are the people that I want to attract into my business. I try to keep my page very positive and uplifting because those are the people that I want to be attracted to my page. Those are people that I want to work with, right? I don't want to work with complainers. I mean, I'll help you, but it's just human nature to attract same, right? Like-minded people. So as you're posting, keep that in mind. Whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. What else? Let's look at memories, allow people to connect with you, haven't talked in a while. Okay. So another thing I wanted to mention is a private group. So this is another way that we can grow on social media. And a private group is, I'm sure all of us are in groups. You guys have heard me talk about groups and common interest groups and things like that. If you see that I'm on Facebook, like that little green dot that tells you someone's on Facebook, I'm most likely not scrolling on my page. I'm most likely not posting something on my own personal wall. And I'm not saying do as I say. Again, this is just what I do. But for me, I'm in groups. I'm networking with people. I am in Messenger in conversations. Groups are a great way to meet people, not only in other people's groups, right? And you guys, if you haven't heard that training that I did, I don't even remember when it was, about you know, common interest groups and things like that. Actually, I don't know if Brooklyn's on here. I should probably use her as an example. She is on here. Brooks, I'm going to use your story as an example. But if you have your own group, like the Healthy and Holistics page that we have, the Healthy, Happy, and Holistics, that's a great way to get people into groups to share your business thing, right? Oh, hold on. There is, okay. Sorry, Dave, you're unmuted. I muted you. That's a great place. If you haven't noticed, when you're on social media, the groups that you're most active in is what's showing up in your notifications first. Facebook likes groups. They like their tools. They like their stuff, right? Facebook would rather people be in groups conversating than on personal walls. So if you go to Facebook and you're looking at your notifications for the day and you're seeing like what's popping up on your feed, you're most likely going to see a lot of the groups that you're in as the first notifications. And the reason for this is it's where you're most active, at least for me, right? So if you are very active in a group that you have, and I'm just going to go back to the Healthy, Happy, and Holistics page that we have, where we share a lot of testimonies and things like that. This is where a lot of things are going to pop up on other people's pages as well. You see what I mean? So if someone is in that group, right, and they go to their notifications, they're going to see, oh, this person posted in here, this person commented on this, or whatever. Those are the notifications that are going to pop up first. And this is obviously where you are sharing a lot of business things. So that's always a great tool as well. Where I was going with this, and I'm using Brooks as an example. So Brooklyn and I had this conversation she said, okay, all right, a few weeks ago. And I don't know if it was after my training or a conversation we had, but anyway, she posted in 2 groups, right? Because one of the things that I talk about is common interest groups. She posted in 2 groups, and I'm sorry I'm all over the place, guys. I worked out this morning, pre-workout pumping through my veins. I feel like I'm not getting my point out. She posted in 2 groups a picture of her dog, Bailey. And if you follow Brooklyn on Facebook, you know Bailey, right? It is her sidekick. It is her business partner. Like, this dog is all over her Facebook. It's everywhere. She's everywhere. So it's a very big part of her life. It's a very big part of who she is, right? She is a dog mom. So she posted in 2 groups about just a very simple video of her dog, like rolling in the grass, scratching her back, and asked a question. A very simple question. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically like, does anyone else's lab do this too? Hundreds of comments, right? So hundreds of people are now in the comments chatting with her. So how do you convert that into someone following you and essentially someone partnering with you in NAVAN? Well, it takes some time. And again, this is a very slow way to grow your business, but we're all home, a lot of us at least, so it is a tool. So what you're doing is you're now in conversations. People are commenting, oh, my dog does that too. She's scratching her back. She's rolling around in a dead lizard. She's whatever. Like, it's just people's commenting in the comments. So what you now do is you go through and you reply back in those comments, right? You're engaging with people. You're starting conversations in the groups. It's all I do in groups, right? It's just, I'm meeting people, I'm starting conversations in the comment section. If that then turns into a longer conversation, I'll then send them a friend request and start in Messenger talking to them back and forth. On your personal wall, if you make a great post, or not even a great post, whatever, and someone is commenting, right? You're gonna get comments on it and likes. The comment section, again, is where I start networking. So someone comments on a post that I make about whatever. Let's say I'm making a post about parabens in a product that I'm using. Something that is familiar to me, something that I'm passionate about. So someone's then commenting down below. Let's use this as an example, because this is one I did recently. So it's end of the month and I made an end of the month push post. Like, my team's on fire. We're so close to all these goals, whatever. Someone commented in the comments, you know, me too, or something like that in their own home-based business. So now what I'm going to do is in the comments, I'm going to reply back to them something very simple. Maybe it's a meme, maybe it's an emoji, but I'm then going to go to Messenger and send them a message and say something like this, you know, hey girl, I see you too, you know, pushing hard at the end of the month. Let me know if there's any way I can help you reach your goal, or something like that, right? It's just acknowledging them. How many of you have ever been in church or in any kind of lecture or in school or whatever, right, where someone was in front of a large crowd speaking and you felt like that person was speaking directly to you? That is what we're trying to do on social media. We're trying to make people feel like we're speaking directly to them. We're trying to get that eye contact, right? So when someone comments on your post and you then send them a message saying, thanks so much for your comment, or I don't know, say it's a gym post and the person's like, oh, I had a killer, I set a PR at the gym today, or, you know, whatever it is, right? And you reach out to them and let them know that you're acknowledging them, that you saw that comment and you're like, congratulations on your new personal record at the gym, or something like that. You're now letting them know, like, hey, I see you, right? Like that you're sitting in church and the preacher's talking right to you, even though the whole congregation is like filled, right? Like, they feel seen. And this is what you're trying to do on social media. So you're now connecting with these people. Okay, so this is again, this is how you're converting your following into Messenger, which is then eventually getting them into NAVAN. You're not pitching someone. You're not saying, oh, I saw you set a new personal record at the gym. Let me talk to you about this Restore product I have. It's great for a post-workout. That's not what you're doing. What you're doing is you're just letting them know that they're seen, letting them know that you appreciate their comment and they're following on your page, right? Again, it's a very slow way to grow your business. It is what I do in pockets of time throughout my day. I set timers on my phone. So again, if you are on Facebook scrolling and you see like that little green dot that says I'm on Facebook, which is probably a lot throughout the day, I have a timer. I'm setting, you know, 30 minutes here and there where I go in and I just network with people. It's what I do. I take great notes so then I can go back and follow up with them later. That's how I utilize social media. I hope that helps. Let me briefly talk, and I know we're 30 minutes here and I kind of wanted to wrap things up at this point, but I'm going to briefly talk about the content part because I feel like this sometimes can get missed. So missed. Gosh, guys, sorry. I have pre-workout and coffee. All right, content. Think about first who you're speaking to. Again, like-minded people. If you are a mom, you're talking to other moms. If you are a dog mom, you're talking to other dog. If you are a business owner, if you are whoever you are, right? You're most like, and you're using social media to grow your business, you're talking to someone that's most likely like you, because people that are like you are following you, right? They're probably the majority of your following or your friends on Facebook are around the same age as you. They're in the same places in life as you are. And what I mean by that is if you are a parent, most likely you have a lot of other parents that are following you. I don't know, if you're into fishing, there's a lot of people that are also into fishing that are following you, right? That's the purpose of this, is like-minded people. So think about who it is that you're speaking to. For me, a lot of my social circle is people that work in healthcare. So I talk a lot about getting out of nursing and how much I loved it, but how happy I am that I don't work in a hospital anymore, because that's my following. A lot of my following is friends that I worked with at the hospital, or a lot of people who, you know, are nurses. I actually run a holistic nursing group. So I'll talk a lot about that, a lot about health, a lot of those things, right? Because that's who my social circle is. So think about, before you post something, who you're talking to. Again, if you're that preacher, right, in the front of the church, who is your person you're talking to, right? Like, who, if you could dive in and make it one person, that's going to make people feel seen. Again, this usually means someone that's similar to you, a crunchy mom or whatever. I keep using that because that's who I am. So I'm sorry. Like, I know not everyone is a mom here, or a crunchy mom for that fact, but that's who I am, and that's usually who my posts are speaking to. If you are someone with very strong political views or religious backgrounds, right? It's okay to share those things if you're comfortable with that. You don't have to by any means. If you're comfortable sharing that and you are, you know, passionate about those things, by all means, you can share those things on social media. All right. And yeah, so that I have notes here on inviting. So a lot of us that are using social media for growing our business, the inviting part, I think we've all gotten those inbox messages, those hey girl messages, right? I actually got one the other day that like didn't even have my right name. I could tell it was like copy and pasted. And I was like, she didn't even change the name. That's not my name. So anyway, my point is that we don't ever want to be that person. But if you're starting conversations in the way that I just talked to you about, like, hey, I see you, thanks for commenting on my comment, or congratulations on the new personal record you set at the gym, or, you know, thanks for rooting for me for my end of the month push. I'm rooting for you too, even though we're in completely different businesses, you know, whatever it is, right? Like, you're seeing that person commenting on your stuff or liking your things, and you're acknowledging them. So if you start conversations with that, when those relationships get built, it's never going to feel like a spammy cold message, because you have a relationship based on a conversation already, right? It wasn't you saying, great job on your personal record today at the gym, let me talk to you about this relief cream that we have. That's not what you're doing. You're just letting that person know you're acknowledged. And as that conversation develops, and as you get to know that person more and they get to know you more, then you can talk to them about what you do, even if they're in a different business, like how these products could help them, maybe if they're not open to the business opportunity. That's a conversion, right? That's converting followers into clients or customers or business partners. So it takes time, but if you do it consistently, again, I usually 30 minutes a day, about twice a day, we'll go in and just conversate with people. We'll just go to Messenger. I take really great notes. So on Fridays, I always follow up with these people and I can reach back out and talk to them. And for me, that's how I've utilized social media. One thing I will stress, your content, again, we're all part of NAVAN. NAVAN is very important to all of us. I'm about certain, right? If you are on this call right now, it most likely means that you want to grow your NAVAN business, you are engaged, you are building with intent, and you are wanting to learn how to market, right? How to continue to grow your business and grow in your NAVAN journey. So for me, that tells me that you're building with intent. What I mean by that is, that means that NAVAN is important to you. NAVAN is a part of your life. It is not your life. So if you are constantly posting about your products and your opportunity, it can be spammy. There's a way that you can do it in a way that doesn't feel like that, though. And here's where I'm going with this. If you post about, mute the lines again. I'm gonna stop allowing people to unmute themselves. So Kyle, just let me know if you need to pop in here, because I took the option off to unmute. If you're posting about the why, not about the what. If you're taking notes or you're thinking to yourself right now, write that down. Post about the why, not about the what. And what I mean by that is, I'm not all the time posting Daily Detox Plus, you know, heavy metal, it removes heavy metals, VOCs, whatever else. Like, I'm not always posting about the what, but I am posting about the why. You'll see me post a lot about, did you know that there's mercury in our fog? You'll see me post a lot about my mom's cancer and losing both my parents to preventable cancers, and how, to me, it's very important to get heavy metals and toxins out of our systems, because I know the prevalence of it in our world right now. So if you post and you write things about the why it is that you're with NAVAN. I don't mean your 7-level why. I'm not asking you to be that vulnerable, right? I'm asking you to post about the why, the what it is that brought you to NAVAN, why you're here. Is it the products? And you can talk about the great products, but don't talk about, this is Daily Detox Plus, this is what it does, this is how much it costs, because nobody cares. They're not going to care. They care about the why. They connect with the reason. If you look at Pam and Brooke, those two are the culture that those two have on their team and have for a very long time. It is magnetic. That is the why. If you look at Pam Staples in Brooklyn, right? And they do lives together and they're congratulating people on their team. And they're like, it's a bunch of hoorah and camaraderie. And like that team is magnetic. And that nobody know, I shouldn't say nobody, but in looking at their page, you might not know it's NAVAN. You might not know that it's detox and CBD products, but the why, they talk about the culture a lot on their pages. That's the why. That's the reason that people would be attracted to that. Does that make sense, guys? So if you're posting about, for me, a big thing is the why I left nursing, right? The why for me is that I get to, time freedom is huge for me. I'll post about that all the time. Now, I'm not saying NAVAN has a business opportunity, this and that, or whatever. I'm posting about how grateful I am that I get to work on my own schedule right now. I made a post yesterday. I got an email that they're giving nurses an incredible amount of money in my area in Tampa. It's hundreds of dollars, $180, I think, an hour. That doesn't even entice me. Even if I wasn't making more than, even if I was making, let's say I'm making $1,000 a month, let's say I'm Sapphire still, and I'm making $1,700 a month, and I'm not making $180 an hour, right? Like I would be as a nurse. That doesn't entice me because the time freedom that I have here, you cannot put a price on. The fact that I get to homeschool my kids now instead of them going back to school and in the world that we're living in right now. The fact that I was able to be at my mom's bedside when she was very, very sick, right? The time freedom for me is a huge why, and I'll post about that a lot, right? Not necessarily the what. And I hope that makes sense. All right. I think that's it. And I'm sorry I've gone over a little bit here. A couple posting ideas. Take quotes from your own content, which I talked about. Testimonies are huge. You can talk a lot about, well, here's the thing. If you're sharing someone else's testimony, always ask them first, right? But you can post things about, oh my goodness, I just talked to my friend who's had rheumatoid arthritis for 5 years and finally got relief from a product she's using. I mean, I don't know. That's very general. Objections, and this is something I've talked to my own team about. Sharing objections on your wall, on your page, is something that I like to do as well. Meaning, when I'm inviting people or I'm talking to people about NAVAN and the opportunity, I take a lot of notes. So if someone tells me I don't have the time, I don't have the money, my spouse is not supportive, things like that, I will then turn that into a post that I'm making. So if you talk to someone about their spouse not being supportive, say it's someone that's already in your business and you're coaching them, right? And you're talking about their spouse isn't supportive and they're having to, they don't really have the time and things like that, that'll now be a post for mine. If someone tells me, okay, let's use time. If someone tells me they don't have the time to build this business, I will make a post about building my business in the pockets of time that I have, and how when I first got started, I only had 30 minutes about every 2 to 3 hours when my son was, my newborn son was nursing. I would sit down and get on my phone and work my business that way. The reason I'm posting about that is because if somebody is having that objection, most likely a lot of other people are too, and they're not even reaching out to me. They're not even getting in conversations with me because they have that fear mentality in their mind. I don't have the time for this. It's great that Christy's doing it, but I can't do what she does. I'm not going to reach out, right? But if I make a post that's talking about the fact that, hey, time is huge for me. I've done this here and there throughout my day in little pockets of time and little spurts. Now someone is seeing that and it might convert them into, oh, maybe I can do this. You see what I mean? So sharing objections is huge. All right, I think that's it. I'm going to go through. Do you guys have any questions? Here, I'm going to allow you guys to unmute yourself. Kyle, do you have anything to add?
Well, I'm so glad that you took all of my social media advice and taught everyone.
All right.
No, that was incredible. And, social media is such a powerful tool. And I mean, as you know, Christy, it's something I choose not to build with, even though, I do know the value of it. And, I've had my moments where I built with social media before, and I do it in a way that is very much like you were training. It's not a sales pitch to me. And, but I don't have anything to add. That was incredible. I think that was great. I thought you gave people just incredible advice on properly how to use social media and specifically Facebook. So no, I don't have anything to add. I think that was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go through comments real quick. Giveaways. So Ange, I mean, it's up to you. So here's my thing with giveaways. If you're giving away product on your page, for me, I like to very much know who is my target audience. And what I mean by that is, let's use a Louis Vuitton bag as just because I know our CEO was talking about this a few months ago. If you were to post, if Louis Vuitton was doing a giveaway and they were giving away a Neverfull bag, which I think is like, I don't know, like $1,500, right? A $1,500 purse. How many, the giveaway, all you had to do is, let's say, like, comment below or something. How many comments do you think that they would have? Probably a lot. How many people do you think are Louis Vuitton's target audience that are wanting that free bag? A very small percentage. And what I mean by that is first of all, there's a small percentage of people that can afford a $1,500 bag, right? But if it's free, you're gonna have lots of people in the comments saying, I want free stuff, right? And it's just human nature. I mean, I would be in the comments too. Like, don't get me wrong. If it's free, you're giving away a free $1,500 purse, I might give it away to a friend because I don't know. But my point is that for me, giving away free product, it can have two sides. One, it can help somebody see the benefits in something, right? Which is why I know a lot of people do samples and things like that. But on the other hand, for me, I want to make sure that I'm speaking to my target audience. Whereas if there's someone who's not really interested in holistic health, not really interested in a home-based business, not really interested in the products that I'm offering, but they like free stuff, and they're commenting now below and they're like trying to win a giveaway, am I giving a product, let's say, to someone that wasn't my target audience to begin with? So it can be tricky, I guess. If you're going to do a giveaway, I would recommend doing that in a group, right? So if you have a group, let's say, that you use to add people to, like the Healthy, Happy, and Holistics group that I have, and a lot of teams are in that group when we share testimonies and things like that. If you have a small group setting where people are there to learn about NAVAN or something like that, by all means do a giveaway. If you have a group for your current customers and your current members, by all means do a giveaway, right? But if you're just posting about a giveaway on your own personal wall, everyone is gonna want free stuff. It's just in human nature. And a lot of those people are not necessarily your target audience. They're not people that you'd even wanna work with yourself, right? Let alone would be a good fit for your business. I hope that makes sense. All right. So Angie said something about, so she made a post in the grandparents group, right? So Angie's great with groups. So made a post in her grandparents group. It got over 1,000 comments, 3 of them. I'm assuming she meant 3 of them converted into clients of hers, right? So the percentage, 1,000 people commented. And again, when people are commenting on your posts, especially in groups, we've been taught all our lives to not judge a book by its cover. This is the one time where I'm going to tell you to judge a book of faces by its cover. Like, if you judge the Facebook by its cover, if you're in Facebook and someone is commenting, especially in a group, how you weed out the ones that you're going to spend time on, and this is something I was talking to Brooklyn about, is go to their pages, right? So you're going to get hundreds of comments, or maybe not. You're going to get comments in a post that you make. How you weed out who you're going to start conversations with is by peeking at people's pages and seeing who you would want to do business with. That's my only recommendation, because it'll take forever. If you're starting conversations with all those hundreds of people, this may be a waste of your time. So go through and look at people's profile pics, look and see if they have a following already. Just kind of peek at their pages and see if it's someone that you would want to do business with. All right, such great stuff. I'm wondering where I can replay this. The replays are always in SoundCloud. So Kyle is amazing. I don't do any of the technical stuff. As soon as these calls are over, when Kyle and I train, I send him the recording and he uploads it to SoundCloud. SoundCloud is an app. It is on both Android and iPhone. And if you go to NAVAN, you're going to find a lot of our trainings there, some of NAVAN corporate stuff there. What about YouTube? Do you ever do recordings to reference people to? Have you heard either about the product, but have you found it helpful? Okay, so YouTube, again, this was kind of like just about Facebook. YouTube is great because it's searchable, right? So I'm not with invite for people to get a personal group. How would you word the invite for people to a personal group? Kristen, it depends on what the group is about. Let me talk about this real quick and then we'll go to YouTube. So Kristen, it depends on what the group is about. Healthy, happy, and holistic, as an example, is a Facebook group that I have that lots of teams in the testimony are sharing testimonies. It's a lot of NAVAN members are in there to find information or whatnot. When I first started that group, how I invited people to it is I copied the link, right? So I didn't just send them an invite. So it's their choice of whether they want to join it or not. And I said something like this. Hey, this is gonna be a great group where we're gonna share health tips and information, whatever. I would love for you to be a part of it. Just something like that. So whatever it is that your group, say it's not even a NAVAN group. Say you have a group, I don't know, maybe it's a weight management group or a fitness group, or there's so many groups out there, a dog lovers group, or like whatever, right? Whatever the topic is, if you're thinking of someone that would be a good fit for that, send them a message, send them an invite. You can even make a post, right? So healthy, happy, and holistic, I believe I even made a post saying something like, if I didn't, I need to do that again, saying something like, this is a great group that my friends and I are in. We'd love to have anyone interested in holistic health join us and you know, learn some things or whatever, right? Now it is a NAVAN specific group. What I mean by that is it's very much geared towards the product line that we have, the products that we offer and things like that. But I do also share a lot of health tips, like, did you know how beneficial it is to get a solid, 8 hours of sleep every night? Do you know that heavy metals are the culprit for over 95% of diseases and disorders, right? It's a lot of health stuff, not necessarily this product is this, that product is that, so on and so forth. Your group can be whatever you want your group to be. But for me, I wanted that page to be a lot of information and education about a healthy lifestyle with little bits of NAVAN kind of sprinkled in. So people are like, what's this product that you're using, and that kind of thing. All right. That's a great giveaway. I just saw someone mention that giveaways for those who join with a $4.99 or $9.99. That's a great actually way. And I have done that before. Letting people know that you're giving away something when they enroll with one of these higher kits, right? Because now you know it's your target audience. Now you know that someone is enrolling, right, for the products or the business opportunity. And to encourage them to maybe get started on one of the higher kits, you're going to give away a product. So that's actually a great tool. All right, real briefly, I'll talk about YouTube because this was not on the Facebook thing at all. In YouTube, it's searchable, right? So I'm sure most people go to YouTube for, if I need a recipe, I go to YouTube on how to grow my business. I've gone to YouTube to ask, what are some great ways to get people engaged on your posts? I mean, there's like a ton of information on YouTube videos, right? So if you have some kind of niche or some kind of something that can help people in some way, by all means, like you can use YouTube. This training was more or less how to start engaging with people. So if you're using YouTube, I would suggest this, is to have a way that people can then find you and connect with you, because you can't have conversations really in YouTube. There's no YouTube groups. There's no, like building your community, so to speak, on YouTube. It's just you sharing information, which again, helps people with that know, like, and trust factor. You're helping people with something. So they're coming to you and to your YouTube page for whatever reason it might be, a vlog or like whatever it is that you're doing, but make sure there's a way for people to then get back to you either on Facebook or Instagram or in some kind of fashion where you can then start conversations. For me, that would be important, where I can then start conversations. I can see the pain points and the need and how I'm going to be able to help somebody. I hope that makes sense. Okay, good. All right, I think that's it. What is your giveaway? Jackie, is that question for me? I even YouTubed how to. So Lauren, I'm laughing. You YouTubed how to disengage the parking brake in your Subaru. I've YouTubed lots of things for my vehicle, just how to change the windshield wipers because I didn't know and I didn't want to take my car into the shop and do it myself. I YouTube a lot of things, and there's information out there for a lot of things. So by all means, if you are someone that can share education, information, utilize YouTube. Great tool. Just be sure there's a way to get back to you in some fashion, right? Like connect with me here or whatnot. All right, I have rambled enough. reach out to me if you guys have any questions. I hope this gave you some kind of value, and I think that's it. Kyle, anything else?
No, not at all. It was incredible. I actually took a bunch of notes, which I know sounds funny, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit of the social media pull a little bit. You know how I go. I go in cycles. Like I'll build with social and then I won't. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna screw up your algorithms." I'm like, watch this. So I don't know. Maybe I will get back into it a little bit. I've been a little in a dry season on social media. Because I'll just speak personally, like I find myself that when I am engaged in building on social media, it is 95% of my time, which in regards to building my business, my efforts shift from, traditional, like picking up the phone, talking to people, regular conversations to social media. And that's why I've pulled back this time. So if I can figure out a way personally to balance that time a little bit better, then maybe I can get more active again on social media and start using it and growing again. Because I have personally used social media as a giant contact list. That's been my thing, and not necessarily cold market. Of course, I have met people or have become connected to different individuals that I did not know and developed relationships, and then eventually, they get started. But I don't know. I'm kind of feeling I don't know, the pull, the attraction to maybe starting to use it a little bit. So thank you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. I'm interested to see how this goes.
Well, come on. You know when I'm on it. So I don't know. We'll see.
You are.
But I did just, you guys, in the comments, for those of you that were asking about recordings and things like that, I did drop the SoundCloud link in there. So like Christy said, when this is done, she'll send me the link and I upload it within generally a few minutes. But it's soundcloud.com/NAVAN Global. So make sure, don't just search NAVAN, search NAVAN Global if you are searching, and you'll find our SoundCloud there, where Christy and I post all of our trainings. So there's a lot of trainings there, Christy. It's pretty awesome, actually. It's exactly what we wanted it to do and be. It's like an arsenal of great info. So hopefully you guys appreciate that and use it and get that out to your team. So. But no, thank you, Chrissy. That was a phenomenal training, and I'm really, really excited that we decided to go this route today.
Me too. I think it's good. Like I said, I know not everyone uses social media. It is a tool. It's one of the ways, but no one's having home parties right now. And like for you, Kyle, I think this is a really great example. I mean, you like picking up the phone, but I know what you're like in front of a room, and you can't have that right now. So yeah. Being able to have these tools in your tool belt, in your NAVAN tool belt, so to speak, and be able to, for everyone, if you're used to building one way, when life throws you a curveball like COVID, you can utilize different things and you're not stuck. Another thing is, I wouldn't solely use Facebook. And I hate to even say this, but again, you don't own anything that you put out there. I've seen and heard of horror stories where people get their page shut down for whatever reason, or they're in, how many of us have heard the term Facebook jail, where they can't do anything for like a week? Well, does that mean that you can't run your business for a week now because it's the only way that you grew your business? Please don't do that. Never put all your eggs in one basket. So there was one other thing I was going to say and I totally lost my train of thought. Karen, I will absolutely add you to my nursing groups. What was the other thing? I don't forget what I was going to say. All right. Will you do a training on building your business outside of social media? My husband isn't using it at all. Yeah, Krista, we train just about every day on how to grow your business outside of social media. Today's I think there's been like 1 or 2 actual social media trainings. Most days, especially on Mondays, is usually when Kyle and I will talk about the calls and how to grow your business and all of the things, right? I did want to talk about social media today because, again, I think that a lot of people are using it since we're all actually home working our home-based business. All right. That is all. Bye, guys. Have a good night. See you tomorrow for, what do we have tomorrow? Rise with Intention. Yes. Wednesday is new member training. Thursday, trade talks. And Friday is comp plan, and then Rise with Intention again. All right. Kyle, anything else? Going once?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. We're good.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Bye.